Hey everybody, I'm Brian with Knox Company, and I'm going to show you how to install this RYOBI collapsible workbench. It folds right up against the wall, but I also want to talk to you about something that I think a lot of people are going to have a problem with when they go to try to install this. So I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to install it the way that it says that you should, and also a common problem I think a lot of us are going to see. So what this is, it's a collapsible workbench that I thought would be kind of cool to use in a workspace that I have inside the house. If you don't know already, I have a t-shirt company that I make my own custom designs. I will link the website in the description below, but the shirt like I'm wearing and some of the other shirts that I print, I have a little workspace and I need places to be able to fold the shirts, get the ink prints ready, and just kind of have some more workspace bench top. But I didn't want to keep putting all these large benches in there, and I also might not need to use it all the time. So this was kind of cool because it collapses up against the wall. It says that it retracts and folds up to about 5 inches off the wall, takes up very minimal space. It actually fit perfectly in the space that I had designed for it. But this is a problem that I think a lot of people are going to have, is if your house is not built perfectly with 16-inch on-center studs, you may run into this problem. So right out of the box, you can see here it has only a couple parts. You have your 2 bench tops, and then you have your 2 main brackets, and then there's a little metal piece that I think is for some support. Then you have 2 different types of screws. So I like that it's very simple to assemble. The instructions are very easy to follow, but they are so simple that they did leave some stuff out, and they don't really have any workarounds for this common problem about the stud spacing. So one of the first steps that you're going to do is just assemble the back piece, which is that long skinny board. You're going to attach the 2 wall brackets to this, and I already kind of assumed that this will eventually bolt into the studs, but I kind of thought that this might be a problem because I know not every house is built the same. So once you have this assembled, the next step that it tells you to do is go ahead and mark where your bench height wants to be. I put mine at 33 inches, and that kind of kept it with my other table heights. It also said that you have to have a minimum of 24 inches. So what I would go ahead and do is assemble this piece together with the 2 brackets. Then I would mark my wall height where you want to see the top at. Then I would run a straight line, a level line, so you have a visual reference. Then I would use my stud finder and I'd start to find out where these studs are. In my case, I had several studs to choose from, but the problem was that they were not spaced 16 inches on center. If you look here, I have some video when the house was being built, and I know that in this wall, not only do I have uneven studs, but I also have utilities like a vent pipe, some water lines, and electrical. So be careful when you drill into these walls and make sure that you are hitting your studs. If you have the knowledge about what's on the other side of that wall, just take a look at that first and make sure if you do miss a stud, what you're going to be going into. So just a little caution ahead of time. But what I knew is that I could find one of these studs, but it was going to be lucky if it hit the other one. So if you look at the brackets, it says that it needs to be 32 inches on center. So hole to hole, it's going to be 32 inches on center. I could pick one stud, but I knew it was going to miss the other, and it missed it just by a couple inches. So let me kind of explain to you my workaround for situations where I may not have a stud where I want it, but I still want to install something in a very specific place. Similar to what I did in my gym area, I wanted to set up these weight racks, but I knew that I was not going to be able to space it exactly as I wanted with the studs. I went ahead and I used cabinet grade 1/2-inch paneling, and I paneled the whole wall, and I locked those panels into the studs wherever they were. Then I knew that I had solid wood to screw in lag bolts to. And that's kind of like the same thing I would do here if you had to do it. I would use at least a 1/2-inch or a 3/4 inch solid wood. Do not use any MDF. Use some type of solid ply or some type of solid pine. You could run it from one stud and across several studs, kind of like a furring strip. And I would run it across, I would screw it into those studs. Then you could pretty much space your brackets where you want them, and you're gonna have to run 2 of them. So I would cut them just the length of the tabletop. I'd put one for that top bolt and then one for the 2 bottom bolts. The one at the top can just be a couple inches wide. The one at the bottom should be at least 6 inches wide, and that way one piece of wood at the bottom will hit both of those other bolt holes. So this is my workaround for the installation if you cannot hit all the studs. But there's also one more thing that you can do. Obviously, if it hits 32 inches on center, you can follow the instructions, put 1 screw in at the appropriate height, and also the instructions did not tell me that. It is 3 inches down from your finished surface. It just said to do it, but it didn't tell me the spacing. It's 3 inches down from that line, which is another reason why I like having that visual line. So 3 inches down, mark your hole, put your lag bolt in there, and I would do this one on a stud if you have a stud to start with. Leave the head out just a little bit because we're going to be placing that bracket on. Then take yourself a level and swing it up to level, and on the other side you can mark that hole, and that's where we're going to be putting the other bolts. Now where those land, if it's not on another stud, this is where the workarounds come in. Obviously if we do the furring strips, that's easy. If it's landing on a stud, we're right there. But the other option that I went with was actually using some very heavy duty drywall anchors. Now you be the judge based off how you're going to use it, but I know I'm not going to be using this thing to the max like it says 300 pounds or 250 pounds, but I know that I'm going to put some t-shirts, some prints or whatever, and I may have it up all the time, but I'm not going to max it out. But you can use some heavy duty drywall drywall anchors and get, I think, the full use out of this thing. These are some options that I saw at the box store. I'll put some links for those in the description below, but I like to go for the heavier ones. So I went with these ones that were a little bit over 200-pound rating, and I'm gonna be using 3 of them. So what I did is I put that bolt in the stud to start with. I swung my table up, marked where I wanted those holes at. I knew it was a couple inches off of that stud. Then I went straight down with those hole markings. So I have 3 of them. And what I did is I drilled the holes, put in these drywall anchors, and then I had some secure anchor points that could accept these bolts over here with the other ones in the stud. When you're installing these drywall anchors, follow the directions very, very carefully, because they don't just say drill a 1/2-inch hole in the drywall just as a suggestion. If it says use a 3/8 or use a 1/2 inch, like in my case, do exactly that and it will fit and work just like they say. One thing I don't like about these ones specifically that I used is they are a little bit brittle. So when I went to go mess with it and actually kind of fold it in and put it inside the drywall, I broke 1 or 2 of them. Luckily, I bought a pack of 6. Be careful when you're using these, depending on what brand, it's kind of up to you. But with these drywall anchors, I'm pretty confident that it will hold. And also knowing that it's in the drywall and not both sides in the studs, I know to kind of be careful with it. But if you buy one of these cool benches, don't let it deter you from being able to install it. You can still install it in a specific space, but there are a couple workarounds. You can use the studs, you can do the furring strips, or you can do the heavy duty drywall anchors. So in my case, I did that. Once you have the one side up and you kind of hang it like a little hook, I slid it over, I drilled those holes, installed those drywall anchors. Then I could put in the other top screw and kind of get an idea of where it sits. I installed the other bolts in those holes, one's in the stud, one's in the drywall anchors. Everything was secure. Then you can see how the arms kind of collapse up and down. I locked them in the up position, and then I placed the large tabletop on top. And again, this is very simple to put together. So the instructions are very simple and easy, but they did leave out some of these troubleshooting things. But you just secure the bolts underneath and you're pretty much ready to go. They also have a locking pin that has a little magnetic piece that you can kind of stick there. And if you want to keep the table up, you can put the pin in there. That way you don't accidentally hit the levers underneath and collapse it. Also, if I didn't mention it already, this is soft close. So when you pop it up, it clicks right into place. But when you actually let it go, you can let go of the top and it will actually soft close down. So overall, for the price that I got this at, I think it's a really good buy, and it's definitely going to help me out and create some more workspace. If you're limited on space and tabletop area that you're going to use occasionally, this is perfect. If you're going to have it up all the time, I think it works as well too, because I got this right around $100 when it was on sale for Black Friday. And some of the deals, it was $100 with a stud finder included, and then it was like $120 without anything. So I would shop on the website and look at the deals, but anywhere between $100 to $120 or $130, I think is a fair price for this size of bench top, and the fact that it collapses against the wall and you can kind of store it away. So if you guys have any questions or any other suggestions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Check out the t-shirts. I sell them for about 20 bucks, and I just make them for fun, but I got a lot of cool designs on there. Click on the links, and I'll see you guys in the next one.